Hunter here, and today we're gonna be doing another WowWee robotics related video. And yes, it's gonna be about RS Media, which has been a very long time since I've done an RS Media related video. And I kind of forgot a lot of the things about RS Media since it's been such a long time talking about him. So I might be messing up some things. I still remember a lot of things about him, but like I used to know like every single thing about him, so we're gonna react to the WowWee Robosapien RS Media long review by the RoboInfo 635. He also did a Robosapien V2 video, which I still have not reacted to yet, and I've also forgotten a lot of things about him as well. So, and plus I used to have one, but the gear in the neck broke, so it would just sit there running. I could have kept him though, but everything's controlled via the neck, and if the neck doesn't move, it will just cause him just like the RoboQuad that he got from Target, the white one where the wire was unsoldered from the neck, so it would just sit there and not doing anything. And I think it's the reason why, because I've noticed that when it's in the box, the neck is actually like pushed down in the box, so and then you straighten it out. So I think that's the reason why that happened. Is that it was like it got desoldered from it. And plus, you're going to see later in this video, he's going to be talking about all of the robots that this robot can interact with. And he wished it was RoboQuad was one of them he could interact with, but no, he doesn't. Because RS Media was like the 6th robot that was made by WowWee in terms of Mark 10, and RoboQuad was the 7th. Well, Robosapien was the 1st, Roboraptor was next, V2, something like that. Roboped, Robosapien V2, RS Media, and RoboQuad were the robots that were made. So RS Media came first and RoboQuad came after. They came out around the same time, but RS Media was released first. And once again, he was only released, the first gens were only in the UK. Once again, first gen UK, second US, and third gens were all updated. They were all in the US, which is what I have, obviously. So, yeah. And then V2 is first gen's US, and second is UK, and third gen. But all of the third gen updated versions are all released in the US. So, yeah. And plus, the V2, the farting is different, the burping is different, the high five is differently. And I think I've noticed when the V2 third gen kind of dances, I think they attempted to try to make, there's actually a silver V2 that's actually on eBay that supposedly does work. I highly doubt it does. There's a video on it that actually has the first gen prototype dance in it. The one where it like freezes up when it does the wave, and it does this, the little, if you know what I'm talking about, it had the prototype board in it. It was not as professional. It was like the one that was in the commercial, because the hand didn't open. Because Kevin or Chris actually had one that was a yellow white one that had that dance in it, but the batteries are low. And he has a silver with that board in it. Because they made red ones, which Anthony has one that's red, and then there's a silver one. The non-Martin signature one is the lighter silver and yellowed white. Which that's the reason why the one that they got off eBay that was shattered, he wanted to at least get it to dance once. But no, it had bad wires. Once again, every V2, and I mean all of them, are going to have bad wires except for the black and pearl whites. Like, they weren't that bad, and RS Media does not have bad wires either. And so, like, they weren't that bad at first. The reason why the wires are the way they are is because they're biodegradable. They wanted to do that as a environmentally friendly option, so it decomposes or breaks down easier than normal wires if it gets thrown away. But over time it gets overheated, and then it causes them to chip off, because literally that's what it does. You just flick the wires off, and then it would start peeling, and then there's copper. And then it could burn your house down if you had one. And it starts, when Jordan swapped the blue and the black one circuit board, a little smoke just started like shooting out of it. So, and same with the Dancing with the Bots. There was a guy who did Dancing with the Bots. He had the blue one, which the blue one is the only one that doesn't have any special things about it. The blue one's the only one that doesn't. Sorry, we're not even starting the video just yet, but the blue one is the only one. That's a second gen, and that or whatever. And that one did not. There's only one version of the blue one. There's no other versions of it. But each of the generations or colors. I mean, besides like the green one, there's red, there's orange, there's green, there's blue, there's turquoise, there's black and silver, white and black and white. Pearl, the yellow white isn't actually a color. It's supposed to be white, and when it's exposed to the UV rays, it turns yellow. So I guess that's kind of a color. And the silver one, and then the lighter silver. So they made like 11 colors or 12 colors or something because obviously they were mass produced, and plus once again they were sold different places. Red was Sharper Image, and red was actually Radio Shack. Sorry. As you saw, there was a video of a red one, like AI one, that was like going to Radio Shack, and then he was sad that it was closed. Yeah. But they made more of the color. They made more of the colored ones, obvious. But there was no supposedly the yellow whites. The minis also had bad wires in them as well. The wires would desolder from the motor, and the eyes would stop working. But there was never an updated version of the mini ones. Except there was the UK one that had the writing in black paint. Whiting and black paint, the trash can symbol. It was wider, and it didn't have a window box, and it was pearl white. Cause you could see, if you know how brittle this plastic is, you know how easy it breaks. Just see the what the video, like literally, it just like I can't describe it to you, but it just breaks so easily, and I think that's another cost saving measure that they did, is maybe the plastic breaks down a lot easier too, because of yellows. So, but that's only if it's exposed to the UV light. So, just make sure if you're ever gonna store these things, don't store them where they're exposed to the sunlight or outside. So, yeah. So sorry about that long introduction. It's been like 7 minutes, so we're gonna start getting into the video. Plus, probably there's gonna be a lot of things that I'm gonna forget about in this video, but they also made the Happy Meal, but there was just the talking V2 and the stand-up V2. There was no like other like colors of them. They were all like, those also yellowed as well. And some people thought it was saying R2D2, but it's RSV2. That was the guy, I don't know, it's one of Fast Food Toy Reviews' friends who did that WowWee video, but he heard Pleased to Meet You, but just couldn't understand the introductory thing. But there was an Iris Media Mystery Toys campaign toy that was released in the UK, but it's rare, and somebody bought it though. But there's no Mr. Personality. There was no Mr. Personality mini. Like, there's Robosapien, Roboraptor, Roboreptile, Robopet, Robosapien V2, Aris, when he didn't have like a smaller, like a mini version. I think Robosapien is the one that has the most the first one is the one that has the most iterations, because there's Robosapien, there's Robosapien X, there's Robosapien Blue, there's Robosapien 2009, there's a mini Robosapien, there's Robosapien Jr., there's Baby Sapien, there's the RC mini version, there's the Robothrow, and the McDonald's toy. So that was the one that was more mass produced because they were so successful. The other ones, not so much. But basically every single, just the newer, like Jobot also doesn't have mini ones either. They were gonna make a mini one, and it was on the WowWee website in 2009, but they never made it. But they might have been sold because RS Media, this guy, Famous and Jobot, were UK exclusives or European robots, and they never came to the US. So we were forced, blah blah blah. We was forced to buy them off eBay. So get rid of the captions and let's go. And this is the because they're and in terms in the and there's also Robosapien remix. Can't forget him. And that was like the last iteration of Robosapien that I know of. And the WowWee logo, the WowWee Robotics logo, because the other one is just the WowWee text. That's the UK. That's like the WowWee Limited or the Hong Kong brand. WowWee Robotics is part of Canada, and that's their logo.
Hey everyone, this is now a review of the WowWee Robosapien RS Media, the last Robosapien in the in WowWee.
But there was also Famous and Jobot. Jobot was the last and Robosapien remix. So I think that's it. But
he's 2006 robot. Robosapien V2 is 2005.
Like once again, the 2006 was the year it was created, and it really came out early. I think it was like September 26th of 2006 was when this guy was released, because that's what the first gen RS Media says. If you go into the information folder, it says 2006 in it. Because really the 2006 is the year it was created on the back of it. But the rest of them was like January of 2007, and then I think it was like May or like the summer of 2007 is the third gen. Which first gens are extremely rare. Second gen is common, like kind of rare, and third gen is the most common because it came out in the US and it's the one that most people have. But obviously they do go for a lot of money. So you have to I got mine for like $210. So it's kind of expensive, and I got it for a Christmas present like 2 years ago. I haven't used it recently, but I'm seriously surprised it's taken it this long to start breaking down. The only problem that it came with was just the position thing. Because that's a common problem that the third gens and V2s have, but when I had my V2, he wasn't broken, the position. But basically all of the problems the RS Media has, minus the ear problem, and the battery low problem, the mechanical parts, mechanical malfunctions are the same as V2. The neck, the fingers, and the leg snap, or either I think it was black plastic on V2 or something like that, and then on this guy is clear plastic. Because the legs of mine are like really wiggly on the V2, so I was afraid it's gonna snap. So when I told the guy to fix it, I told him he might need to check on it, but whatever.
Well, they're similar. They look alike.
Which originally the RS Media was actually gonna have V2's hands, like the gauntlet, like the little flexible fingers, but they came out with the little fat pudgy ones. The RS Media fingers are crap. They can't really feel anything. They're not flexible as the other ones are. And they do, yeah, so. But there have been people who have, like Freddy Aruta, modified his RS Media to have the V2 hands and hook up the buttons to his hands. Like the gauntlet would be like the arm controls.
What's the difference between him? Well, already you can see that he has a screen and a microphone on there. Well,
which the microphone is right below the RS Media text.
What does that have to do with anything? Well, I'll show you and stuff. But first I'll give you a look at the basics.
Also I've seen people like swap like the eyes on RS Media, and it just does not look good with the V2 eyes. I'm sorry. But he's also made them green because white and blue are red and blue are the only ones that will shine through a visor, so he melted the hole through the visor to make it green.
Again, just like I had to do with V2. Again,
he's got a camera in him.
His camera for taking pictures or
and videos.
Taking video. Yes, he records and takes pictures. These are his. This is his IR sensor for remote control. These two are his vision sensors that allow him.
Because it has the tracking. I was thinking that maybe the mechanoid that I'm getting soon is kind of very similar to Robosapien a little bit. So you know how we said Zoomer is the new V2? Well, Mechanoid is basically the new. Well, Robosapien was still out when Mechanoid came out, but it was basically Spin Masters presents Robosapien at this point.
His ears.
Maybe like V2 as well.
The LCD screen. Microphone for voice recording.
And video recording, and then ears for the sonic sensors when you clap. He listens for a sound. And it does the thing where if you clap in a certain direction, he'll try finding it, but not as good as V2. And yes, it does have the ear glitch, where it constantly hears something if it's in a loud room.
5 or 6 second record, not too much, but it also hears when you video record as well. The buttons in media mode, it makes it scroll down or something.
But it's kind of weird because they're kind of reversed. Down is up and up is down. But if you were trying to reverse the buttons, it would just go back to where it originally was. Like, it would just be the same buttons.
Play, pause, and skip for music as well. This is the SD card slot.
It takes up to a 42 megabyte SD card, and it holds up to a 1 gig SD card. I thought for a second all of the supposedly it's 32 to 43. Like 42. Wikipedia is a little off, but I think it's like 42 megabytes. Mr. Personality 64 megabytes. And it holds up to a 1 gig SD card slot.
But you can get as many cards as you want. It's actually a lot. It can hold every single personality.
But not really, like, just like the main custom personalities that everyone knows of. Not like third-party ones, like, not the Robo Community personalities. Except Bugs Bunny and Darth Vader used to be on the old SD card, and it stopped working. So those ones are completely lost forever. And there's also V2, which was like an April Fool's joke. How it's just, like, messed up. Yeah. But it was basically their own, like, it was like a joke personality where, like, it's glitches and buggy. And yes, the RS Media is very slow. It is an old robot, and the technology is very outdated, but it's old school. That's what it is, because outdated is something you never want to come back to, which most people don't want to come. So people would consider this outdated, but it's mostly old school. That's what this is. It's old school. Because old school is like Atari. It's like 2600, where the graphics are primitive, but they're still fun to play. So these things are like old, like the technology's been far improved, but it's still fun to use. So, but outdated is something you never want to go back to.
I have every personality pretty much on there. Oops.
See, I think this is like the third or fourth one for RS Media, because the little tabs have been ripped off.
SD card, because it's easier, you just stick it in the computer, get the RS Media suite.
But first, when you get a brand new SD card, don't put it right into the RS Media and put that's what you have to do. You have to turn it on, and then it will assign the SD card to RS Media and put all the information on it. Then you slip it into the computer, and then that's what you do. Don't put it right into the computer and start putting personalities on it. You have to put it into RS Media, turn them on, go to his media folder. Because go to his media folder and turn them off, take it out. Because it does have this thing where it does data corruption if you do unplug it without ejecting it, so it can get corrupted. Or data loss or corruption. BIOS corruption, but he does a subwoofer.
You can make your own personality for him. You can make macros for him to do, like walk around and take pictures. I'll show you him in action. I'm just showing you SpaceX line-in for MP3.
Which is better with the SD card because it has more bass, but it's low pitched, so you don't get sued. Like, you know how V2, the second gen V2 is high pitched? He's low pitched. Because all the audio files on the computer, they're all high pitched, like they're in their normal quality, but he low pitches stuff, which is good for music because you won't get like copyright issues. It's genius, right?
Players and iPods, anything with a line.
Even though that Kevin or Chris kind of complained that there's no, like, you know how the commercials he was like jamming out to the MP3 player. Well, there's basically nowhere to put him and listen to music and walk around because it will just constantly slip out. But it's meant for like a shuffle or like a tiny one. It's good for that, but there's still no place to put it though.
So he can play speakers through his hands.
And then there's hands, and it's good because he's actually moving around and it's 3D. It's like 8K or whatever the hell it's 4, like it bounces through the walls and makes it like 3D sounding. And it would sound like without the subwoofer, it would sound like crap. The subwoofer gives it bass. Same with that black V2. He has more of a bass. He doesn't have the subwoofer though, but he does have the woofer, as they call it, but he does have more bass, and it's not as loud, and he has volume control. He has volume control, like some of the older robots don't, because you can mute his voice, you can turn off his vision, you can turn off his hearing, which you can't do that in roaming mode. He'll immediately turn them back on, and in roaming mode, and then he'll start hearing stuff again. He'll walk for a second, then he'll start saying he hears stuff.
Hands and the woofer in his back. That's the
Power switch. Oops. And then there's Java, and then there's the USB logo.
There's two different RS Media suites. There's the CD disc that comes with it, or the downloading software from the Robo community or RS.
The 2.4.2 software.
But I personally think the CD disc will be better, even though I've never tried it. I've never had an RS Media that came with the disc.
But you do need an old computer to use it. Like, I saw someone on Reddit have an issue with the RS Media PC software, but it's meant for an old computer. That sucks though. And there was only a version for Windows. It's basically a Linux based program, and it was only available for Linux. So sorry, Apple, but I don't think they ever made a version for Apple though. There are like custom I don't know what it is, but like it's the iHack, the iMedia hack. There's like an Apple like iPod Touch interface instead of the one he comes with. There's that, but there's no, and I don't know if they've updated that. So I think they kind of learned their mistakes. Like they're like, and then RoboMe, which came out in 2013 and 2014, he was only exclusive to iPhones, but it sucks though. Because Android users, that's the main complaint. They should have made the Android version so they can sell. Because I think also MIP and some of the robots that were coming out then, they were only for iPhones. But then eventually, but for MIP and all the other robots, they made it for Android. But RoboMe was only iPhones. Which doesn't matter because they need auxiliary, no Bluetooth. And just like the Robosapien X IR dongle. And just like the Robosapien X IR dongle and you needed a certain version. iPhones 4, 6, 4th gen, iPod Touch. And there was also a remote telepresence capability that was for iPad. But so it was all Apple devices, so no Android, which sucks.
Sure, it's better. The suite from the sites are just too slow and they don't work very well. They constantly shut down on you and stuff, but I can show you how to make a personality when I have time. But I don't know how. I won't be able to show you how to make a macro because I've never have before. I can show you how to make a bodycon, but that's just about it. It has buttons on here for obstacle detection and free roam mode.
And it also has the puppet mode thing where if you push it 2 times, it'll do stuff related to the foot. But if you have something programmed on puppet mode, unlike V2, he'll stop, which is very similar to Jobot, where he bumps into something, he stops. He'll actually keep going once he gets hit.
60 batteries. and
4 AA's, which the D batteries are the speed, the AA's and V2 power up the whole entire thing, and the AA's power up the whole entire thing on RS Media.
it takes 3 AA's. Just like V2, I use.
And I think Rovio. There was also Rovio, the mobile webcam. That was for both platforms. Except in the video, they made it look like Apple was way hard, like complex. So they like cycled through all these steps for the user guide. But in the Windows, when they were showing Windows, it was more simple. But like they're like, hey, Apple, for Apple users, you're gonna have to go through these many steps that are set that are recited in the user manual. Like you could say like the one that had the fancier transition was better, but no.
And I'll power them on and show you them.
So that's about it for the beginning of the video. Now I'm gonna stop this video and then I'm gonna go stop this real quick because this is like a 53-minute long video, so it's very long. I mean, it is a long review after all. And then there's the original one. I didn't even know this existed, but alright. Anyways, hope you guys liked it and bye.